Main character energy on a budget. That's the name of the game today. So here it is. Are you this person or do you have a friend that this is a fit? It's the person that hooks up with an ex that treated them poorly, and they do it to feel attractive or wanted by another person. They need this attention to feel desirable. They have no ability to find that within themselves. They need others to fill that within them.
Oh, yeah.
They continue the cycle of hooking up with the person, and the person is only using them for sex and has no interest in any part of them. It's hard to watch when this happens. Or, here's the other side of the coin.
Yep, okay.
You're the friend, you have a friend that bankrolls a relationship. To have someone that might not date you or your friend otherwise, but need to be seen with what they perceive as hot or desirable. Something that someone else wants.
Yes.
But they feel they're not good enough to obtain that on their own.
So they use their money.
They use their money to do this. And for some reason, this person usually needs this validation to feel better about themselves.
Yes.
They care such a great deal about what others think of them or perceive them.
Yeah.
They get the self-esteem need met externally and struggle with internally feeling they're worthy.
Which is both of these situations involve very low self-esteem and not expecting much, but looking for that validation through other people, because if you can't give it to yourself, where else are you going to get it? And people are doing it through other people.
Absolutely.
All the time.
And most recognize this is unhealthy, but can't stop because they don't feel they're worthy enough for this to truly happen for them.
Absolutely.
And if you're in this, it's hard to be in. And if you're a friend watching, it's hard to watch. But that's what we're talking about today.
Welcome to Fit Mind Chats. Get comfortable, join us in our virtual therapy office, and get ready to gain insight into motivation that drives behaviors you don't understand. My name is Sarah, and we are the owners of Fit Mind Cleveland, a mental health private practice in Cleveland, Ohio, with grounded therapists that are approachable and meet you where you're at in life. A place where you can see your strength and grow in your greatness.
I'm Abby Speedy, co-owner with Sarah, and independently licensed clinical counselor.
Oh, we did that a little different today.
You know what? I like switching up.
Yay.
Let's switch it up, girl.
Get our brains moving.
Right?
Yes.
We've been off taping for 2 weeks. Yeah.
It feels weird.
They're probably shocked because we still maintained our weekly.
Bravo to us.
Good job to us.
We taped twice in a day.
We did.
Yep.
So we might be a little off our game today, but it's good to switch up.
Yes, come on. Be patient with us.
So the definition of main character, you knew what it was, Sarah. I was like, what is main character energy? And apparently, it's internet-driven term describing a self-assured, charismatic, and proactive mindset where an individual acts as the protagonist of their own life. It involves taking ownership of personal happiness, setting boundaries, and often romanticizing daily life. This is no shock. It originated on TikTok.
Oh, stop it.
It did.
Okay.
It empowers self-care, but can also become narcissistic. I think many may want to present this way, but actually present as some of the titles we came up with.
Yeah, so certified hot and slightly confused.
Ooh, this is a good one.
Yeah, this is where you might see someone who checks all these boxes. They're attractive, they're smart, they're funny, they're doing really well, they're productive in life. They've got a job, they're doing well in school, whatever it might be, they're killing it, but they have absolutely no idea of their own worth. So they are confused about what maybe everybody else is seeing, but they don't see it themselves, and so they're looking for a lot of validation elsewhere.
They are, and this is the person that dates the person that doesn't have a job, lives with them for free, or maybe they still live in their parents' basement. They maybe game or go out with their friends, wasting a lot of money they do not have, and treat this person that's bankrolling them as a second thought. So you see this, that's like, when you see someone dating down, and you wonder,
the idea of dating down.
Why are they dating down?
Why are they not? Yeah. Well, you only date what you expect. You deserve.
100%. And when talking to this client, when they're in my office, they usually come in because they're frustrated with their partner, but unwilling to leave because this partner meets their need for feeling wanted and feel they will not meet anyone else that will want them. And no matter how many times we review, they're the full package, they just can't see it.
Here's the thing about your self-esteem that is based on an external sense of self, right? So that's not what self-worth really is. Self-worth is about, I am good regardless of all of the scoreboard around us, of productivity, of like the achievement of markers, how much money I make, what's the number on a weight scale, on a scale, what size am I at? Am I attractive enough? Like these are all these markers that I think people learn somehow determine their self-worth. And unfortunately, we can all succumb to that belief system. Sure. But true self-esteem comes from a belief that you are worthy just as you are. That is true self-esteem. They believe that they are worthy. It isn't about, they can be laid off of a job and they can just tell themselves, yeah, I'm in between jobs and I'm looking really hard. And that other one, it must be not good for me.
Right.
So, hey, I'm going to look for something else. Unfortunately, what we learn is that a lot of times there's shame at work with a lot of these people who have very, very small, like, or very low self-esteem. Is somewhere inherently they believe I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not enough.
Right.
Or I'm not worthy of love.
For sure. And I think some ways, like how we kind of treat this is something I've learned is I can't convince them they have to learn to value themselves. You can't convince, like, yes, you have to love yourself. We can say it. We just said that, like, how many podcasts are you listening? You gotta love yourself. You gotta be that person. And it's really easy to say, but it's really hard to do. And sometimes people get there through therapy, and sometimes they don't. So we kind of try to work on building self-worth and self-esteem. We kind of do this. In the beginning, it seems kind of hokey. We develop positive self-statements and say these daily. Look in the mirror. Maybe you put little like sticky notes around your mirror of positive things. Fake it till you make it. Say it till you believe it.
And here's the thing. The reason you believe the negative self-statements is because they're just familiar to you. You've done it the most.
So comfortable.
It's so familiar feels right, but it is not right. It is just familiar. Those are two separate things. So that intervention is aimed at over and over repetition. Tell yourself something different because eventually it'll become familiar enough and you will actually start believing it.
Absolutely. And with that too, like in sports psychology, I do a lot of this. We say visualize, visualize, visualize. Visualize how you want that race to go. Visualize if that race goes bad and how you recover. Your brain doesn't know the difference between you actually doing it and you think you're doing it. So this kind of comes back to this positive self-statement. Like you're saying it over, we're recreating new neural pathways. Yeah. Exactly so it sounds so hokey and people feel so ridiculous doing it. But it works. There's so much research out there that says
and brain science.
Or brain science. Yes.
Your brain can develop new neural pathways.
100%. Yeah.
It is not a fixed state. It is constantly growing, and you can do so by when you say something positive about yourself, your brain responds to it. You have a release of an endorphin, a neurotransmitter, right?
Right.
And then, so there's a chemical impact on the brain.
There is.
And then there's a feeling that can come with that. So it is. And the more you practice it, the more it becomes a more common neural pathway. And then it's both familiarity and you've changed your brain.
You have. And another really good thing to do is right before you go to bed at night, this is where I have athletes visualize. Right before you go to bed, visualize it. Because when you're in that sweet spot between awake and slumber is when that like concrete's in there. Like it sinks in and that. So if you're saying these things, say it before you go to bed when you look in the mirror. And then as you're going to sleep, maybe you're thinking like, okay, I am worthy of love and care. I am worthy of others liking me. Amen. I like myself. And you say those, you kind of drift off to sleep with that. We're just putting those in there a little tighter, a little stronger, and your brain's going to start believing it.
The other thing I would say we have to do is we have to remind people that their brain is tended to look at the deficits. So most people do this. So if they look in the mirror, let's say it's body image. All they're looking at is their problem areas. Oh my God, my muffin top, or these saddlebags, or like my thighs, my ass, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So, but the reality is you're ignoring all the things that you like. So when you start creating a space for you to start noticing the things you like.
Right.
Oh, I really like my eyes. My hair looks really good today. Actually, I really like, it's silly. It could be like, I have really nice hands.
Oh yeah.
Or I like my nails.
I've seen some good hands.
There are some good hands out there. But it's about loving yourself as is. I heard someone say it's God's divine design. Right?
Oh, that's a cool saying.
And you are divine design.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe in God, it's the universe created you. It is a design where form and function complete. There is not a baby that is born that we don't look at and go, they are perfect.
Yeah.
Just as they are. somewhere along the road of development, we say, no, your thighs are too big and your butt's too small, whatever it is, right?
Yeah, your face is misshapen.
Yes.
Your head is too big.
Yes.
We absolutely do. Another thing, intervention I use in therapy with this is I say, hey, everyone do this right now as you're listening. Identify one thing you like about yourself. And if you can't think of that, what would your best friend say? What would your best friend say your best quality is? And as a kid, I will be honest, I don't think this is any surprise. I was tall, gangly. I was not cute. Like, I was awkward looking. I was pretty good at sports, so I got away with that. But I had to be funny because that made people like me. Just looking at me, you weren't going to be like, I want to hang out with that kid. So I just looked like I don't even know, like a giant, like a noodle.
Like a noodle.
Like a noodle.
Like
my head was like too big for my body. Yeah, it was braces, glasses. The whole thing going.
The awkwardness of development. Not easy. Not easy.
So I was like, I learned to be funny, and I'm like, I know I'm funny because as a kid, that was my quality. And if anyone was like, oh, she's pretty funny, that's where it came from. And I feel like, what would you right now think about it? What would your best friend just like? What's your favorite thing about Sarah? What would they say?
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it.
Then that's another thing. You're like, when you look in the mirror at night, I'm funny.
Yep. I
can look really not appealing, and that's my judgment on myself. But I know I'll be funny, and it'll be okay.
Well, and this is the other thing is again, I would even say to that, like I say to kids all the time, look around you. The world is filled with people who look different, and it's a beautiful thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing to look different.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Like, so, and because we laugh, like, we know humor is an awesome defense mechanism. It's an awesome armor, right?
Oh, yeah.
To like shield away people who are making you feel bad. So, but love the parts that make you unique. Look at it that way. Like, it's not like there's a one size, like we have to stop looking at people online or whatever and say, oh, that's the definition of beauty.
And we didn't have online.
No.
We had Cosmo. We had Vogue.
Victoria's Secret. Oh,
I mean, I look back now, like, I was just tall and really skinny. Like, I would have been a model.
Yes.
I mean, minus my head at the time because, braces, glasses.
Well, there's
kind of disastrous. But, like, loving that and being like, oh, hey, I've got some good qualities here.
Absolutely.
And looking, like, and say, hey, what would my best friend say about me? I think that's pretty powerful. The other one I like to do, and this is going to be in a couple of these, create a vision board. This helps see a future where you might not want to settle for, or gives you awareness to maybe that your partner is not congruent with a life that you want to lead.
That's a great thing.
Yeah.
I think and because it speaks to like your own values too.
Yeah.
I would say this too. Empathy towards yourself helps build self-esteem. It helps combat shame. So like the number one intervention is self-compassion. So often that client who is not expecting much from how other people treat her or how men treat her, whatever it is, or how women treat her, it is because it comes from a place of belief that she's not really worthy of it anyway. So instead of saying like, I'm an idiot when I make a mistake, it is be self-compassionate. Speaking of, how would you talk to your best friend if they came to you and go, oh my God, I feel so fat. My pants are so tight. Would you just be like, oh my God, you're a fat ass? No, you would not say that.
I don't notice anything different.
Yes, half the time you're like, oh my God, you know what? I hate when that happens too. It happens to all of us. We're up and down. Like 5 pounds can come on and come off. But I feel you, and you look fantastic.
Yeah,
right?
Love those pants.
I love it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Talking to yourself like you would talk to a friend.
Yeah.
Self-compassion. Because you give them compassion all the time.
And probably what you're saying yourself, you wouldn't say to your worst enemy.
You wouldn't say it to your worst.
I mean, it's
that
biting at times. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, man.
I mean, Tavia, I call myself an idiot all the time. I wouldn't say that to anyone. Ever. I wouldn't be like, you're an idiot.
Right.
No, but I say it to myself for making making a wrong turn. Like, oh, I missed the turn? Okay. That really makes me an idiot.
Right.
No. And when you say stuff like that to yourself, and then you get that feeling that goes along with I'm an idiot. Again, it's a I am.
You're building that neural pathway.
You are.
You're actually reinforcing it because it's so much easier being negative than positive.
Yeah. So you got to practice like a much more compassionate. Oh, I made a mistake. I'm human. Yeah.
I usually try to I'll first be like, oh, I'm so dumb, but then be like, oh man, that's pretty funny that like my GPS told me to turn right, and I know more than my GPS. Like this is a reoccurring theme for me that I know more than my GPS, and I don't.
Yes.
It's never turned out like that I was the smarter one in that situation, but like it's the same idea. Like something I'm so dumb, be like, once again,
like, I'm very human.
I think I'm smarter than the GPS.
Yeah,
that's
I didn't hear it. I missed it. I listened. I wasn't listening. No big deal. And you literally leave it. You let it roll off your back. You do not internalize this stuff. Because shame is a very powerfully negative and toxic force that can keep you in patterns that you don't want to be in.
And then you don't have that self-worth and self-esteem. Then we seek it out in ways that aren't the healthiest. Externally. Yeah. You need that external validation. Yes. And a lot of times I tell people that can't get into relationships. They want relationships. Like, until you love yourself, that's you're not giving the vibe off.
You will not, if you don't think you are supposed to, if you don't love yourself enough to treat yourself well, you won't expect anyone else to treat you well.
Right.
So, and this is the thing, I always get to shame, and I know I talk about it all the time. All my clients,
it's such a hard feeling.
Jesus, Sarah, you just always talk about this, but it is highly correlated with things like anxiety and depression and eating disorders. So I don't know that there's a day in my practice where I'm not dealing with it on some level. And to understand why it is so powerful and what the antidote is. And it is practice over and over again, because of course you're going to be like, yeah, but Sarah, I am actually not good enough. Because if you see so-and-so, my brother, who's so smart, and I'm not as smart as him, or my sister's so beautiful and I'm not as beautiful as her. When you're comparing yourself constantly, you're constantly tearing yourself down.
It's another one of the interventions is no comparisons. Comparisons will never make you feel amazing. Because even when you're like, oh my God, I'm so much better looking than that person, that doesn't make you feel good either. Like, why do I have to tear someone else down to make myself feel better?
Exactly. And we're talking apples and oranges. We all look different. It's not like if I could compare two apples, right? I'd be like, oh, this one looks like a little red, but we're not. None of us are exactly the same.
Well, I think that everyone has different tastes too.
And everyone has different tastes.
Some people in college, I was like, I'm going to marry like a 6'4" skinny dude.
Yeah.
My husband's 6 foot and built his tree trunk arms. I mean, like his whole family's built like, like they're muscular and thick. And I mean, we all change with attraction and stuff. And who
says what beautiful is?
Yeah.
We all do, actually. We define it.
We do.
Yeah.
Well, social media and those guys try to define it. But this is all going to be stuff that, when we're working on building our own self-worth and our own self-esteem, these are all things to kind of think about and kind of change. The other next title was, please clap for me.
Oh,
please clap for me. This is the person coming in that usually gives all the positives, all the amazing things they're doing, all they have to offer. And they're selling me on why they are worthy. But if you're selling me on it, you're probably not believing it.
Yeah.
They need reassurance. They're going to do well. Many are with partners that say all the right things and know this person needs this, so they use this manipulation.
Could be.
There are other relationships where this is done in a healthy manner.
Absolutely.
But in some, when they come in, it is due to being in a relationship they question but cannot leave because of the fear of not getting this need met or being alone.
Well, because if you get your sense of validation or worth from someone else, being alone would mean that you're actually not good enough.
Right.
So that is a very dangerous place
I got to do all these things to be good enough.
Yes.
I do all, and I tell you how
good.
To be. Yeah, I do all these things. I have to tell you all these things I'm doing to feel worthwhile.
Because that goes to show, like, that's your marker of what makes you a worthy individual. Here's like a spoiler alert is that we think you're worthy regardless of all those amazing things that you do. What you do is great, but who you are is separate from that.
And I think I'm going to I'll probably get some backlash on this statement right here, but I feel like I see this in women that had careers and then decided to stay home and raise their children. It can be very hard
because that narrative in their head is productivity is linked, or having a job is linked to self-esteem.
Identity.
Is their self-worth.
Yeah.
And identity. Yeah. I think for retirees, that's hard too.
This is too, yeah.
Like they all of a sudden move out of the working space and now they're like, what is my identity? What is my worth? What's my value?
Right.
Self-worth and what you contribute to the world are two separate things.
100%.
Let's try to detach those. You are worthy. You can have high self-esteem. And again, you can get and then your productivity level, which we've talked about in the past, can be variable also based on what stage of life you're in.
Oh, yeah.
Not a marker of how good you are as a human.
Right. And I feel like this comes out with I have to sell you on all these amazing things I'm doing, all the things I did with my day. It's okay.
Yep.
If you didn't do all those things in one day.
Exactly.
If you're kicking back on your couch watching, I don't know, like the Housewives of Orange County.
I've done that before on my days off. Come on.
When my husband goes out of town.
Oh my God, I don't even want to tell you what I've been.
I watch Southern Charm.
Oh, any Real Housewives Southern Charm is, oh God, it's such a guilty pleasure.
It's such a guilty pleasure.
I
can't take it, but I love watching it. And I don't want anyone to
personality disorders. The personality disorders of that show. We got to do a whole show on personality disorders. Yes,
I love it.
We did narcissism, but
this is a whole new level. But yeah, like if that's what I want to sit down and do,
then I'm doing it.
I'm gonna own it and be like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm okay with it. It brings me joy.
Yes. I don't attach like my worth to whether or not I'm a really good domesticated, like I don't take care of my house well. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
But my self-worth is not tied to it. It's just something I'm not very good at, and I don't value it a ton. I have to force myself to do it. Okay, so that's that. And I'm getting better about it, but like also I don't really care. It's not attached to my self-worth.
Right.
I don't want to hear this like whether what you're doing is just not it. So you got to attach like why do I feel like I'm not enough? That for me, it's the validation from others, and I have to prove to you I'm worthy. I have to prove it. Here's my list of accomplishments. Oh,
and that's like what they said. They're like, okay, we're gonna be working on self-worth.
You got it.
And a lot of times I'll go in. How do we treat this? A lot of times I'll look at empowerment activities. Find activities that they find empowering and feel good about. Like, what's something you do that you feel empowered when you do it? And this could take time and many efforts at trying different things. I love when people try different things. You may hate something, you may love it, but yeah, like go outside your box. And even that builds up your self-esteem. You know, like I'm going to this new workout class. I'm learning Spanish right now, and I'm terrible at it.
And where you can practice it is when you're not good at something.
Yeah.
What does your self-talk look like?
Yeah.
Hey,
I just sound terrible at Spanish. I'm not. I'm learning.
And that's the thing is, I go to horseback riding all the time. I ride. I am objectively not as good as the rest of the riders there, but I love it. Yeah. The journey's fun. Yeah. Challenging myself is fun. Sucking isn't like when I have a bad day. It is what it is.
Right.
It's a bad day. But I love the mindset of the people around me, which is that's part of the journey. That's part of the learning.
That's part of the process.
So that's what you tell yourself. So do these activities and then practice that mindset.
They come in. I did terrible, and I just said it too. I caught myself like, oh God, I'm learning Spanish right now. It's terrible.
Just judged yourself.
My kids make a lot of fun of me. I don't care. I'm going to speak fluent Spanish in less than 6 weeks, and I'm going to do nothing but speak to them in Spanish in my current Midwestern accent. Hola! Like, it's going to be fantastic.
I can't wait. We'll have a whole podcast. You could do an introduction in Spanish.
I'll do Spanish.
We'll try it.
We'll hit our Hispanic culture and try to get some activity there. So, like, once again, like, we're reprogramming our brain to validate and praise ourselves, like, when we're empowering to do things. Like it could be running, and, like, I think of this in running, because I've been running my entire life. And there's times I've been great at it. There's times I've been mid. There's times I've been slow. And when I see someone out there running, whether they're running a 6-minute mile or they're running a 13, I'm like, look at them going out there and getting after it.
It's awesome.
Good for you. Find something that empowers you, so you don't feel like you have to, like, tell everyone, like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. You're just convincing yourself.
Yes.
And then how do we do it in a way that's healthy and that you don't feel like you have to do all these things?
Practice the mindset. Practice the reframing in your own mind when you find yourself being mean and harsh to yourself.
Right. I would agree.
Gives you a lot of opportunities. Well, thriving, obviously.
Oh, thriving.
Is another one that we liked as another title that we thought of.
Right.
So this is the person that might be overachieving, but doing it really for others and not really themselves. We've talked about this before.
Oh, we have.
And we have a lot of overachieving adolescents. They might be achieving for their parents and not 100%. Themselves. We got a lot of people who are just out there and they are people pleasing and they cannot, that's their armor actually, is I won't be vulnerable. I'll just say yes to everything. When you feel calm and you don't have as much shame, you can set boundaries and you can say no.
Yes, you can.
But that is a work in progress, again, with our people pleasers who are not feeling, they feel that their worth is attached to what they do again, and pleasing others is something that they do to feel validation.
Right.
Right. But that doesn't work. It is a exercise in futility, and most people eventually burn out.
Oh, yes.
So if you're feeling burned out, you are likely
thriving.
Yes. I mean, you're burning out because guess what? You are performing for others. You are not doing it for yourself. You don't really have that sense of self-worth and like enough. That's where shame can come in. And so instead you say, I will only be good enough when I do this XYZ and I prove my worth. Yet it never comes, right? Because that comes internally. That just comes with being. It's not with doing. So I forget what.
If you have a kid, I want to go back to the adolescent on this. My overachieving adolescents, that are doing it for their parents.
Yeah.
You see it with this. They're not doing it because they're internally driven. And at one point, they're going to come to the realization that, like, they're going to grow up and be like, I'm not doing this for me.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for some other reason. So how many kids have come to my office that are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be a lawyer. It's okay if you're not. Yeah. Like, that's the mom and dad dream.
Yes.
Maybe they should go to med and law school. I don't know. Or you have to do that in order to get their approval. It's never going to work out. Like, there will come a time when you're in school and you'll just decide, like, this isn't working for me. And you'll end up falling in the path that you should fall. If you're an adolescent out there that's listening, I don't know if we have a big market there, you'll fall where you're supposed to fall. You'll get to where you're going. And it may not look like med school. And if you're a parent out there that's like, my child is, biologically gifted and they should be a doctor because, that's going to give us status, or, I wanted to be a doctor, but I couldn't get med school.
Right.
Be okay with where they want to land. I mean, because they're only thriving for you, and when we don't thrive for ourselves. You see a lot of this in sports. Kids that only do the sport for their parents, it will come down to where they quit the sport.
They will.
Because they're not finding joy. They're not finding love for it.
Let them.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let them.
And when these people go in my office, they feel usually unfulfilled. They're resentful. Yeah. They're frustrated. And sometimes that adolescence, it comes out with that, like, opposition, which is normal.
Yeah.
With adults, it, kind of when I work with both parties on this, once again, I use that vision board to be like, let's create a vision board of what you want your life to look like. I do not want it to be what you think others want it to look like. What do you want to go to clown college? You want to be a clown? Put a clown on there. Yes. You want to scoop ice cream at Mitchell's? Put a big scoop of ice cream. If you want to sit on your couch and watch, Orange County, whatever it might be, put it on there. Like, pick what you want to do.
Get in touch with what you want to do.
Yeah, what you want to do. We've done stuff on this too before.
Yes. It is about tuning into yourself, and because you are only going to feel fulfilled if you start doing things that are in line with what your values are, what you really want. If you are spending all your time trying to figure out what other people want from you and no time figuring out what you want for you, you are, like most of us, are going to burn out. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be anxious.
100. Yeah,
I
got to stop saying 100%. Like, that is burning my brain from seeing on a text message that little 100% thing. Yes. So now I say it all the time. See how that neural pathway changed? This is one more thing I like to do in a session with someone that's thriving on others' dreams.
Yes.
I have them create their own vision board. But before they do that, I have them create the vision board that they think others want. What would your parents' vision board be for you? What would your partner's vision board be for you? Now make your own.
Yes.
And then you create your own and see how different they are. And if they come out the same, I'll be like, let's try that again. Yeah. Yeah. Because maybe you're not seeing it, but this isn't.
Yeah, you use a lot of creative interventions. That's a great idea. I think that, like, it is helpful also to reality test too, because are you projecting these expectations onto someone else? Is the other party actually like, I don't really care. You could actually go do whatever you want. I hope you do.
Right. We can also bring another person in and be like, hey, is this help? Does this fit for you?
Does this fit? Are they right on with this?
Are they and they could be like, no.
No, actually.
And then that helps them hear, like, the parents like, I don't care if you go to med school. Yep. I don't know anyone's happy about clown college, but
hey,
I would support my kid. That would be hilarious. We're gonna clown college in Florida.
Or mime.
Oh, wear your sweatshirt on child model the mime. Oh my god.
Okay, to all you mimes out there, I'm sure that you are passionate about what you do.
Good for you for doing it. Good for you for doing it. Yeah, you went against the grain.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode of Fit Mind Chats. We'll see you next Monday for another session. If you have any questions or want us to cover a topic, please follow us on Facebook, Fit Mind Cleveland, and message us. If you'd like to seek out therapy services, go to our website at fitmindcleveland.com and contact us.
If you would please leave us a rating or a review and share our podcast with family, friends, enemies, or anyone that needs it. We want to bring mental health access to all people that can benefit. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.